The Big Bang Theory explains the universe's birth from a singularity. Hindu texts like the Vedas and Puranas describe a similar cosmic origin. Modern science and ancient wisdom share a quest for one truth.
Welcome to This Explainer. Grab a seat and settle in because I'm absolutely thrilled to guide you through today's lesson. We are diving into a truly fascinating intersection of human thought. We're going to look at how the ancient, highly metaphysical mythology of the Vedic traditions actually mirrors the incredibly precise mathematical models of modern astrophysics. It's a journey that bridges literally thousands of years of human curiosity. We're connecting ancient sages who just looked up at the night sky with today's cosmologists using supercomputers and space telescopes. So open your minds and let's jump right into our cosmic curriculum. To start, I want you to just close your eyes for a brief moment and imagine the absolute beginning of time. Try to picture a state before there was light, before there was matter, before there was even a where or a when. Well, the Nausadiya Sukta, the hymn of creation in the ancient Rig Veda, beautifully describes this exact state of undifferentiated chaos, a profound emptiness that eventually gave birth to, well, everything. It's a staggering thought, right? Our whole lesson today revolves around exactly how that one arose from the darkness. Okay, let's dive into this and look at our syllabus. First, the primordial golden seed. Second, evidence of the expansion. Third, evolving stars and worlds. Fourth, cosmic sacrifice and structure. Fifth, the ultimate fate. And finally, number 6, the universe within you. We're moving step by step from the macro origins of the entire universe right down to our micro-internal consciousness. Starting off with Section 1, the primordial golden seed, let's set the stage at the absolute incomprehensible dawn of existence. Now, ancient Indian texts give us this incredible concept called Hiranyagarbha. Hiranya means gold, and Garbha means womb or embryo. But to be clear, this wasn't meant to be some literal, physical egg floating around. It's a brilliant metaphor. It describes a primordial seed resting in a state of unmanifested unity. Think of it as a single, glowing point of perfect, pregnant wholeness that contained the potentiality of absolutely everything that would ever exist. The texts tell us this golden womb basically floated in the darkness of non-existence until it finally burst open to create the heavens and the earth. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how perfectly this ancient poetic concept maps onto our modern scientific understanding of the universe's origin. On one side, we have the cosmic egg, representing unmanifest potential and primordial unity. On the other side, we've got the modern astrophysical concept of the singularity. According to the Big Bang Theory, about 13.8 billion years ago, all the matter and energy in the observable universe was compressed into this infinitesimally small, unimaginably hot, and incredibly dense point. Both of these models, one deeply philosophical, the other pure physics, start with all of reality contained within a singular, unified boundary. Which brings us to Section 2, evidence of the expansion. We have our seed, our singularity, but what forces triggered the creation of space itself? In the Vedic tradition, the disruption of this primordial unity was triggered by two things: tapas, which is a conscious, intense heat, and kama, which is described as a primal desire or impulse. This energetic surge just completely disrupted the stillness. And brilliantly, this mirrors the modern theory of cosmic inflation, proposed in the 1980s by physicist Alan Guth. Inflation dictates that within a tiny, tiny fraction of a second, an exponential expansion stretched the universe literally faster than the speed of light. It was a massive phase transition, an energetic burst that set the stage for all the observable structure in the cosmos today. And that brings us to this staggering number, 13.8 billion. That is the age of our universe in years. But wait, there is a vital distinction to make here. Actually, a huge misconception we need to clear up. When that golden seed burst forth, when the Big Bang occurred, it was not an explosion of matter into some pre-existing empty space. Actually, scratch that image entirely. It was an expansion of space itself. Everything stretched outward, creating space and time as it went. And we aren't just guessing about this. Cosmologists have robust observational evidence. First off, back in the 1920s, Edwin Hubble noticed a redshift in the light coming from distant galaxies, proving they are rapidly moving away from us. If everything's moving apart right now, well, it must have been closer together in the past. Second, we have the cosmic microwave background, or CMB, which is quite literally the thermal afterglow of the early, incredibly hot universe. Finally, the specific abundance of light elements, mostly hydrogen and helium, matches exactly what mathematical models predict would be forged in the intense furnace of those first few minutes of expansion. So the crucial point here is this temperature, 2.7 Kelvin. Today, that cosmic microwave background radiation has cooled down to just 2.7 degrees above absolute zero. When scientists look at this microwave hiss, which, fun fact, was accidentally discovered in the 1960s by radio astronomers, they are literally looking at the oldest light in the entire universe. It's a snapshot from roughly 380,000 years after the initial expansion, right when the universe finally cooled enough for the first atoms to form and for light to travel freely. Let's move on to Section 3, Evolving Stars and Worlds. We're going to push our lesson forward from that initial blinding flash of creation. As the universe expanded and cooled, matter began this slow, beautiful process of condensing. The ancient scholars described Brahman, the cosmic consciousness, as evolving through 4 distinct states. And I want you to look at how beautifully this maps onto our modern solar nebular model, where dust and gas form planetary systems. First is Turiya, the unmanifest potential, much like a vast, formless molecular gas cloud in deep space. Next is Prajna, a calm state of knowledge, which mirrors the slow cooling and condensing of that gas due to gravity. Then, Taijasa, the active power of creation. This is the exact moment a protostar ignites. Finally, we have Vaishnavanara, representing the fully manifested material world, perfectly analogous to a mature, formed planetary system, just like our own. Step by step, the alignment is just incredible. Moving to Section 4, Cosmic Sacrifice and Structure. How did the universe organize itself on such a massive scale? To understand this, we look to the Purusha Sukta, one of the most theologically dense hymns in the Rig Veda. It introduces this fascinating concept of yagna, or cosmic sacrifice. The text says the cosmos emerges from the ritual dismemberment of the Purusha. This primordial cosmic being was fragmented, and from his sacrifice, the structure of reality was formed, the moon from his mind, the sun from his eyes. It presents creation not as some simple command, but as a profound structural transformation of unity into diversity. And this brilliantly illustrates a core cosmological concept. In modern physics, during that rapid expansion of cosmic inflation we talked about, tiny microscopic quantum fluctuations, literally just little ripples in energy, were suddenly stretched to massive astronomical scales. Over billions of years, gravity pulled matter into the slightly denser areas, forming the vast cosmic web of galaxy clusters we observe today. So the mythological fragmentation of the Purusha's body acts as this perfect poetic metaphor for how tiny quantum irregularities were divided and expanded to form the macroscopic structure of our entire universe. Section 5. The Ultimate Fate. Now, students, having traced the universe from its birth to its current structured state, we really have to look toward the horizon of time. How will the universe ultimately meet its end? Well, science offers a couple of major theories impartially based on competing forces. On one hand, we have the Big Rip. If the mysterious force known as dark energy continues to accelerate the universe's expansion, it could eventually overpower all gravity, tearing galaxies, stars, and even atoms apart in an eternal expansion. On the other hand, we have the Big Crunch. If there is enough unseen cold dark matter out there, its combined gravitational pull could eventually halt the expansion, causing everything to collapse back into a super-dense singularity. What's absolutely fascinating is how this Big Crunch perfectly mirrors the ancient Hindu concept of pralaya, a cyclical period of universal dissolution where creation just folds back into itself, resting before the next cosmic cycle begins. Let's move to our final section, the universe within you. We've spent this explainer looking outward at the vast macroscopic universe, but now let's see how this builds into something deeply personal. We're bringing it down to the microscopic level of the individual. Think back to our very first concept, the golden seed, the Hiranyagarbha. In metaphysical teachings, gold represents the absolute highest state of evolution. Just as base metals shed their impurities to become eternal gold, the ancient texts suggest that we, as individuals, must undergo our own internal evolution. By shedding our inherent negative traits, our ignorance, our attachments, we can elevate our consciousness. To reach the state of Hiranyagarbha is to reach a deeply blissful, enlightened state of pure knowledge, literally aligning our internal reality with the profound purity of the cosmic origin. So I want to leave you with this provocative thought as we wrap up our lesson today. The exact same fundamental processes that governed the ignition of stars and the explosive expansion of space are woven into the very fabric of who you are. You are literally made of the heavy elements forged in the hearts of ancient exploded stars. You are the universe experiencing itself. So, how does the infinite birth of galaxies mirror the spark of your own internal consciousness? Think on that. Thank you so much for joining me on this incredible journey through ancient wisdom and modern science. Keep looking up, keep asking big questions, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.